I thought, we're going to go down. It was all going to be cozy and warm and nice. And I was freezing my ass off out there.
We didn't actually manipulate a story. We didn't go down there to tell a story. The only chronology that was actually there was the time frame. At one point we went in, we filmed what we saw, and we came out.
I think it's important that people actually know, especially at like 6 o'clock in the morning, what does go on down there.
Before you go down, you don't really have a concept of time and how long 24 hours actually is.
It was a mixed feeling of sort of anticipation and absolute fear. You haven't got a clue what's going to happen to you.
Go in the subway to go nowhere. That's just something, once you decide that, you're totally in some other world, because nobody has ever got down to the subway not to go somewhere.
You visually saw, but you just didn't record it for fear of maybe being caught.
You can be, all alone in a wagon with like 10 homeboys. They won't look at you, and in that way, it's much less dangerous than the subway in France.
There's things on there that we didn't see. A lot of things that we actually did see didn't end up on the film.
The focus switched from the people that surrounded you and all these sort of like potentially dangerous people to who cares who's around us. It's sort of an internal thing. See whether you can actually make it all the way to the end.
Where the camera's positioned and what the point of view of the camera is can really tell a different story.
The weird thing is, after looking at all these shots over and over again of all these trains and everything, and every time I go back down there now, I see all these things that are actual shots that we got in there, and you realise that visually down there it's so repetitive. It doesn't matter which station you're on, things are more or less the same, and all the trains look more or less the same, so you keep seeing the thing over and over again.
The subway itself stays the same, but the personality changes every hour, or seems to do.
It's endless before, it's endless after, and this is just one visual record of a little tiny slice of this big thing, whatever it is.
Split into two groups, and one group started off going to Coney Island, and there was another group that went to the furthest reaches of the 6 train going up to the Bronx. So it started off in two completely opposite directions.
Coney Island used to be like the Palm Beach of New York. I reckon you'd be pretty hard pushed to find a pina colada around here these days.
I suppose to many people, Grand Central's a bit of a corridor. But the decision to meet there every 4 hours made it kind of homely for us.
You'll see somebody in a Fifth Avenue suit next to a guy who's homeless.
Spending 24 hours on a train obviously is an overexposure, more than you need, and it's not the most beautiful place anyway. I mean, we made it look nice. Lately, I could tell you for myself, I can't stand, like, I just don't like taking the train anymore. Just the people bother me. The train could be hot, it could be cold, but some people spend like maybe days at a time literally underground, and they have nowhere to go. You know, we only did it for 24 hours, and we thought that the world was going to come to an end.
I took the train a lot for a year. And maybe yes, this movie was the end of it, and from now on I take cabs.